welcome to the Parenting and Bonding with Children's Book Podcast, where we believe that books are magic and have the power to transform homes. On this podcast, we talk to the authors behind the books to find out their true intentions in writing these wonderful stories for us. So we're here tonight with Jingle Jangle producer and children's book author, Lyn Sisson-Talbert. Hi, Lyn.
Hey, Gwen, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Good. So I'm so excited that you're here. This is our special holiday episode.
We love
we
that.
were ready for the holidays right after Halloween.
I am ready. I'm doing a Christmas Thanksgiving this year. So I'm starting even earlier.
Okay. I love it. We haven't started decorating yet, but it soon comes.
Yes. I'm about to get it going.
Yeah. So we're going to give a formal introduction to Lyn and all that she deserves, right? But Aiden's going to tell us a joke. Are y'all ready for Aiden's joke? Come on, Aiden. He was supposed to be here on standby, y'all, but y'all know he just gets distracted.
as all kids do. Hey, Aiden.
Hi.
Are you going to be nervous today? Are you ready to tell us your joke?
You got this. You got this joke. I can't wait to hear it.
Okay. Go ahead. Knock, knock.
Who's knock, knock?
Who's there?
Holly.
Holly who?
Holidays are here again. Yeah, holidays are here again. I don't get that joke any.
That was a good one, Aiden. I saw the sing song me right there. So you're ready to go into song. That was good.
My script was right here.
My script. You didn't remember the joke?
My script.
You gotta memorize the scripts, Aiden. You gotta memorize the scripts.
Oh my goodness. So
holidays are here again. I love it.
Yes. Okay. So let me give you all an introduction to Lyn. So Lyn Sisson-Talbert stands tall as one of the most accomplished female producers in Hollywood. Recently, she produced Netflix's first original live action musical, Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey, and authored the Jingle Jangle book series, including The Square Root of Possible and Jingle Jangle, The Invention of Veronica's Jangle. So tonight, we'll discuss Lyn's author journey and the newest book, The Perfect Gift. Welcome again, Lyn.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited you're here. That was like a weird hand thing. And I have both of Lyn's books here. You know what's funny about this is that after I asked you to be on the show, your assistant sent me your book. And I was like, I already have it because I ordered it before it even the day it came out.
Yay, thank you.
I was so excited about it. I was like, I have to have this book. Okay.
Thank you.
So always ask authors this. I always give a brief introduction and then say, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about yourself?
I think you did a great job.
Okay, wonderful.
You did a great job. Yes.
I would like to mention, so you have a son, Elias.
Yes, he's 8.
Because most of the people in our community are parents. They're all parents that are watching. And so I know they would love to know that. And if they pay close attention, we see Elias throughout your work, right?
Yes, you do, including even in the illustrated world of the books.
Yes. And it's so, I don't know if you guys have the first book, right? Or even the second book. It's so easy to spot Lyn because you
right. What's this woman with an afro and red hair doing in Cobbleton? But she's there.
And so when you get the book or when you look in your book, just look for Lyn and then you'll see David Talbert and then Elias. You'll see them next.
But that, you know what, Quinn? You're the first person that said that. You're the first person that has noticed that, to be honest.
Really?
I've pointed it out because I always want to give Elias a shout out. And people were like, oh my God, you see that? So kudos to you.
Well, I'm in and out the pages trying to see, because authors hide stuff. throughout like the jacket, the inside cover. And so I'm always looking for like those little pieces of like
Those little
home.
Easter eggs.
Yep,
Yeah.
that y'all put, or Easter. We were just talking about Marvel, right? The little Easter
Yes.
eggs.
Yes. Did you see Buddy in Square Root of Possible?
Buddy and yeah. Wait, no, I don't want to lie.
That's the first one. So go to the last page of Square Root of Possible, where it says Joy. Look inside Jangles and Things in the window.
I feel like I'm getting secret information right now, y'all.
You are. See, there's another.
Oh, I see him. I don't even think if you see him? There's Buddy.
Tiny little Buddy. Wait, who's? Oh yeah, that Buddy.
Buddy 3000. Yeah, that Buddy. He was in there looking through the window, getting ready to come on out.
That is awesome. Oh, I don't want to skip ahead. Now I'm in the book and I'm thinking about the illustrations. So the Square Root of Possible, right, is the first book. And then in this series, because you also have a middle grade book that you did,
Yes.
Geronicus, and it's all about Geronicus Jangle, right?
Yes, it's Jingle Jangle, the invention of Geronicus Jangle, and kind of delves into the story a little bit more.
Okay. So I haven't read that one, but I have to get it and I have to read it. Of course.
Or you can listen to it because I have Felicia Rashad do the audio. Yes.
Because I listened to a sneak peek and I was like, is that Claire? Is that
Yes, that's Claire. That's the grandmother of Jingle Jangle.
Okay, because I heard a sneak peek and I was like, there was no information there to tell me who it was. And I was like, I know that's her because you know her voice.
Yes.
You know her voice.
Classic.
Okay.
Classic.
Her, just like Forrest Whitaker, like, you see them and they are just these figures that are so prominent in our community, and like you recognize their voice whenever you see them, you know who they are. Yep. So just perfect. So the Square Root of Possible, I know we're not here to talk about this one tonight, but in this community, I talk to parents about using books as tools for their children in the home. We often talk about how as parents we get really busy.
Yeah.
And we want to pour positivity into our children. But oftentimes after a long day, we just don't have it. Yeah. Like we don't have the words to say.
Yeah. Sometimes a book is a little helpful to help you with those words when your mind is just fried from the day.
Exactly. So I want to point to one of my favorite pages in the book and just show you all how this book, the first book, we're not even on the second one yet, can be used as a tool. I mean, the movie was, I'm not going to say enough, but there was so many things in the movie, but then you get to the books, and there's no page numbers here, but this is the page I'm referring to. And it says, it's a wonderful thing to see impossible things, to have extraordinary vision.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so encouraging our children to not think that what they see is insignificant.
That's right.
When they see marvelous things, or when their mind creates these things, these creative things in their imagination, they can bring them to fruition as long as they believe, right?
Absolutely. And that's the whole idea behind it.
Yes.
We want to encourage the kids to use their imagination. All of us as parents, we kind of sometimes need to give that iPad time just so we can have a moment. Mm-hmm. But then we have to make sure to cut that off and have that limited, because we want them we want to encourage them to use their imagination to think of these things themselves, mm-hmm. to maybe create a game or a book or a comic book themselves. And so that's really what I love to do. And I do it with my son too. He loves to draw and he's making his stories and books. So just so important to do that. And at the same time, to have the different levels of the music and the song and the movie. And it's like something where you have so many layers to connect it all to, that it makes them hopefully say, oh, well, let me see what's going on in the books, because it just literacy in general is so important. And in so many areas we have, underperforming schools in our communities, and we have to contribute to try to raising this literacy level up. I've been visiting a few of the schools on my book tour and reading to them, and they're just so enthusiastic and so excited,
Yeah.
and we just help them, give them the tools. They'll just be so much better off as they're growing up.
So many things you said there, I just want to touch on.
Sure.
That's a beautiful thing going, that you're going to the schools and things like that. And in our Facebook community, we talked about not too long ago the lack of like libraries in our schools, and just a lack of access to books. And we talk about how some parents might value other types of child development, but they're not thinking about reading as one of those things that they can do to really put our children a step forward. And one of those reasons, we did like a small poll, right?
Mhm.
And one of the reasons was because they lack of time,
Mhm.
right? Not seeing the value. Well, I can just get them a tutor. I can do this. I can do that. Or giving up on books because there's no representation. They're not
Yeah.
inclusive. My
Yeah.
child can't see themselves in these books.
Yeah.
And just like when we first turned on Jingle Jangle and just got into the mood of the movie, it just like sucked us in
Yeah.
to a world that, we knew that it was a period piece, right?
Yeah.
And so when we turned it on, like we saw ourselves in its splendor in this
Yeah.
time where we were told we could not be wonderful,
Yeah.
and then you come and you continue on to these books. And it's like, now my child has, and Journey is a girl, right? But
Yes.
we also need to show our young men these books, so that they can recognize that women can be smart, they can be leaders, they can be this, anything they want to be. And it's just, I will scream from the rooftops all day about
Oh,
the
thank you,
importance.
Quinn. No, let me tell you,
Mhm.
all throughout the film, this is the whole reason, I want my son to see himself. I'm even tapping into the little girl in me, in what
Mhm.
I didn't see as a little girl. And even in the film, when you see Journey in being inventive and imaginative, when you look in the town square in Cobbleton and you see these names on the storefronts, those are names of people who were innovators in our community and who were doing it back then. It wasn't just Thomas Edison, who little Edison was named after, Edison Latimer, who invented the light bulb. Lewis Latimer invented the light bulb too. And
Yeah.
so those are the things that our kids don't know, is someone that looked like them was inventing with Thomas Edison back then, who was a patent lawyer back then. And it seems as though we weren't doing these wonderful things then. We just weren't getting the credit, and we weren't in the history books. So that's a main thing that we want to change. And you'll even see in the back of The Perfect Gift, the list of all of the storefronts, so that they can go back and see and also learn, who are these people and where did they come from, all the way from rock and roll to newspapers, from steel to first optometrist and licensed in the state of Nevada, which was my dad.
And who was that? Okay.
That was my dad, Dr. Lyn Sisson. And if you look right next to Jangles and Things, when you're watching the movie, you'll see Sisson Arms. And that's named after him, because he was the first Black optometrist licensed in the state of Nevada.
I love that you were able to incorporate your father in this. And I love that you incorporated all the bits of histories that our children need and our parents need as well.
Yeah.
There were people in here. I created a coloring book for Aiden. It was originally for Aiden, and it was it's a printable one, Young Black Heroes from a Young Age, right?
Oh, I
Because
get it.
oftentimes, like, we tell our kids, like, you can be this when you grow up.
Yeah.
You can be that now.
Yes. You can be it now.
And so it was like, I say, it's like a reimagination of our history, because it's like, people like Charles Henry Turner, he fell in love with animals at a young age.
Yeah.
And because of that passion, it took him to where he is, where, he's passed away, but where he is now.
Yes.
It's like they need to know.
Absolutely. And we can all work together to do this, and what you're doing is so wonderful, because it's letting people know and making them aware of what's out there and available to them. At the same time, when we're entertaining, David and I, we also want to teach something. We also want you to be inspired. So there's so many different ways to do it and to tap into our kids, inner voices and inner magic to get them excited and enthusiastic about something. And they'll let you know, like you start to see early on the gifts that our kids have, and we have to nurture that. I think, we sometimes come from the era like you got to get a job with benefits, and you got to, make sure that you got retirement, and and you
I like the voice change.
Yes, and you do have to do that. You do have to take care of your finances. And that is another key thing to learn, is knowing how to take care of yourself and budget and take care of your finances. But at the same time, you can fund your passion as well. So there's so many different ways of approaching it, and there's no rules to it.
That's right.
Right, Aiden?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aiden, what do you
in corner?
You come to show us something? What do you have? Well, go ahead. You done hopped over here. Come on.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Oh gosh, he's over here coloring, guys.
Oh, he finished it. That was quick. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Great job, Aiden.
Goodness. So we are on the same page, and I want to kind of segue to the new book, The Perfect Gift, because you said a couple things there that I really enjoyed. If you could give, I say to the authors on the show or the podcast, if you could give like an elevator pitch, what the book is about, what would you say?
I would say that this is the continuation of the world of Jingle Jangle. This is about not only knowing what your perfect gifts are, but sometimes the perfect gift is there all along and you didn't even realize it. So it's about being mindful and aware of that, and then nurturing that gift.
Thank you for that. You said something a little earlier that made me want to get to the book, and you talked about how sometimes, well, let me just get to the page. Are you okay with me showing a couple of the inside pages?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So like on the first page, right, we talk about there are so many ways to use this book in your home, guys. The different vocabulary, the history lessons that Lyn talks about in the back of the book, just allows you to just, dive even further into what it is to be a scientist, how magical it can be. And on the first page, it's once upon a time, there was a family of inventors. We all have inquisitive kids, right? What's an inventor?
Yes.
And then the way that it describes it, who could make magic from science?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard it described that way.
Well, that makes it a little bit more fun, doesn't it? And a little bit more interesting. Yeah, like I want to make some magic from science.
And it's so real because it's really what they're doing. Yeah. When you're making magic from it. And, Jingle Jangle is all about magic. And, this show is all about the magic, the magic that it creates, in our homes. And then earlier you talked about how it's losing me exactly what you said, but it made me think about this page and how we often take for granted the things that our children find wonder in. Right. And just the things that Lyn points out on this page. Buddy was so he was, for the very first time, he was born yesterday, pretty much, right? He just been turned on yesterday for the very first time. And he was so marveled by cat's whiskers.
Yes.
The Northern Lights and spoons.
Yes.
And I really feel like in order to write a successful picture book, you have to be able to hop inside the mind of a child. Yes. And be able to not take for granted the small things.
Oh my gosh, you said it. That's so true, because I remember myself trying to get the spoon to float on my nose. You do the, and then you try to. So when I say spoons, that's something that was fascinating. Like I'm a lover of cats. I have a cat of my own, Piccolo, and I love my kitty cats. And so how the whiskers are, sometimes when she would shed her whiskers, Elias and I would pick them up and they'd be so hard and you could poke someone on the end. And then how they looked at Elias, always like, how is that? And look at those whiskers. So it's those things that you see and discover and play around with that you don't even realize this is something really interesting. And this is a little piece of fun and a little piece of education all at the same time.
Yep. Sorry, Aiden is making this noise in the background. So I did- so I was on mute, but yes. And
Yeah.
when I read that page, I was thinking about, because my father always says, as we were watching, like, Aiden grow up and him like discovering things, and he used to be so excited for him to like discover little things, like how they like do the lemon, like when they
Yes.
first taste a piece of lemon, or when they first when they first notice that they can blow bubbles in their milk, like those things that were so fun for us, but we don't think about, and it's so magical for kids.
Yes.
So, can I tell you what I love about this book?
Yes.
So many things, right?
Thank
But I love
you.
how the splendor of the movie transitions into the book. But if you did not see this movie for whatever reason, because really, if you're watching, I know you've seen the movie. If you haven't, you should go see it. You don't need to see the movie in order, because the book is its own experience.
Yes.
Both of them, The Perfect Gift and The Square Root of Possible, they're really their own experience. Of course, they have their own storyline, and you and your children will walk away increased.
Yes.
Having learned something, feeling like more is possible. And I was so excited to bring these books onto the show, because books like this, they make the world seem larger.
Yeah.
And more interesting, and they really show our children the possibilities. They start to think they can fly. Can you get down?
That's right, which is what we want.
Okay, so what was your favorite part about writing The Perfect Gift?
Well, bringing Buddy into this, because I couldn't wait to bring Buddy into this illustrated world, and also, just like you said, like really trying to still tap into Jingle Jangle and all of its splendor, but make this its own experience as well, because there will be people who see it and be like, what's that? And then, oh, what? It's a movie too. And, I think that's important sometimes when you have set pieces that are separate from the film itself, that they do have their own experience, and it's a full meal of itself.
Yeah.
And then I also just really loved sharing those Easter eggs. That was something I kind of thought about at the end. I was like, oh, even though, we were doing in the movie, I talked about, I was like, oh, we need to put it in the book. We need to put it at the end and talk about and so I was just really excited about that. And then just dedicating the book to, those that came before us, and with their ingenuity and inventiveness, those are the things that were just really special.
Yeah, so special. So the book is bright, it's colorful, jubilant. The pictures are brilliant. So many moments in the book for us to use its words to pour into our children. If I can share with you, we're near the end of our time, and I want to be mindful of your time.
That's okay. Take your time. I'm good.
A question for you. Somebody asked which character, and I've watched a few things you were on, so I feel like I know the answer, but we're going to say, which character do you resonate with the most?
Of course, Journey.
Yeah.
That is a huge character, and I also resonate with Ms. Johnson, because she's just crazy and funny, and you see her in the book, but she's not featured in the book. But Journey is the one, because that was what I would want to see as a little girl. And that is, I always felt like, just very outspoken, but daddy, and it was my dad and I were so close, and that relationship with, the grandfather and all that, and you just keep poking at him and keep messing with him until, they give you that smile or they give you that hug. And that, my dad he was a very affectionate man and everything, but it was always so fun to have that dynamic, and it made me feel invincible. He made me feel like a rock star. And so that, I miss that, because I miss him so much. And, when you have that unconditional love from day one, good, bad, or indifferent, it's something that we all need. And I think children need. And even if it's our parents or the community that provide that layer and cushion of confidence, it really makes a difference on how we feel about ourselves. So that Journey was looking for that connection, that she didn't have. And for her to be able to find it, you're just like, it really warms your heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It did. It's a heartwarmer for sure. And I know the person that asked this question, who is my mother, y'all. She was saying that she really resonated with Geronicus's. I feel like I can't say the
Oh, you're good.
here on the book channel, y'all. She really resonated with his character because, and I feel like so many of the adults or older, generation in our community resonate with his character because as the people, we've been through so much, we've dealt with so much, and a lot of us are where we are because that's what we were provided, and that's where we felt like we could go. And so when we have these people in our lives who love us to pieces, sometimes they just don't have it in order to pour into us. And so,
or they've been broken, they've been broken as well. And they haven't been able to tap back in. They think that I had it, but it's gone now.
Yeah.
And then they've given up on themselves. And so it really doesn't matter what age you are, where you can tap back into that magic. And sometimes it's through our children, and so that is a big thing as well. We want not just our kids to be encouraged, but anyone that's in a rut, or anyone that feels like, this is it for me. There is more for you. You just have to push through, like Geronicus did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. And just like the book, just like the movie, the books are really for, I feel like, all ages. I always talk to parents about, publishers will put an age range on these books, but they are to be ignored.
Yes, I agree. Because I have a few picture books like in my bathroom and in my living room that I display because sometimes we just need a simple message. Something doesn't need to be so deep. We just need something simple and beautiful to look at and just say, you know what? I get that. I hear that. And I need to do something about that,
Yeah. And, I believe picture books are for everybody.
Yes.
They are for everybody. So, so keep enjoying them.
Thank
you. Lyn, is there anything else you want to share with us about your books?
I just want to share that I want you guys to enjoy them. It's my goal and mission to make Jingle Jangle part of our holidays forever. I want it to be that classic piece that go to every holiday season. And if, with your support, I'm going to able to continue on that mission. And anything that's going on when the Broadway musicals are coming up and other films that are coming up, just please follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And so you guys can be in the know of the magic that we're cooking up.
We will be following. And I just thought about something. I heard your husband say something on a previous interview, and he said something like, because his favorite Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yes, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
And he talked about how he loved that movie, but the movies, not to take anything away from them at all, but we watched what we were given.
Yes.
And now we have these options, and this movie is in the books. It's so beautiful. Now that we have these options, this is a classic books, picture books, a classic movie that we can watch year after year after year and never get tired of it. So thank you so much for putting your vision out into the world. And I know that it was the movie was made for the stage, right?
Yes, it was originally made for the stage, and I was like, let's do it as a movie first, then do it for stage. So now we're going to be start working on the stage production of it. So in the next couple of years, you'll be hearing about that. And another thing we did was, because the Square Root of Possible song inspired me so much being on set and pushing me through and the book and all that, anyone that purchases any of the books, if you upload your receipt to jinglejanglesong.com, you'll get the song The Square Root of Possible for free.
I saw that and I did not take advantage. And I need to. I saw
Amazon and all that store your receipts. So just go grab it and then upload it. And
thank you for that tip. That insider tip.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we want to thank Lyn for her time today. I'm so excited that you were able to join us and tell us about more about your books. If you guys check out, I know where are the books available. Where can I'll show them while they're.
Yeah, so available on Amazon, wherever books are sold, they're available on Amazon, at Barnes & Noble, Target.com, Walmart.com, you name it, it's there. So please pick it up and enjoy it with your family.
Yes. And if you guys are looking in the books and you spot the Easter eggs that Lyn was referring to, let us know in the comments what you've noticed in the books or what you noticed along the way.
Yes. And I want to shout out the illustrators. Tara Nicole Whitaker illustrated Square Root of Possible, and Ashley Evans illustrated The Perfect Gift. And they did just such a beautiful job. Thank you, guys.
Yes, they did. I was giving them their accolades all along and didn't even ask.
No, yes, you
ask
did.
about them directly.
Yeah.
But beautiful work. Beautiful work.
Yes, they did.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lyn.
Thank you, Quinn. Bye, Aiden.
Aiden, you want to come back and say goodbye?
Bye, Aiden.
Bye.
Bye.
He was trying to sneak up. Okay. Bye, everybody. Stay.
I've been sneaking around and you didn't even see.
Oh, you were sneaking around and we didn't even see. We heard you.
Yeah, but I'm doing this, but I was under the camera.
Gotcha.
Oh, you were under it. Okay.
Well, thank you, Aiden.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Stay tuned for the giveaway announcement.
Bye, Miss Lyn. Wait.
That's right.
Are you gonna do it with your husband tomorrow?
Am I gonna do what?
Are we going to do it with the director tomorrow?
No, but we'll have to work that out and get the director on here. How about that? Okay.
Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.